Welcome back, everybody. What's up? What's going on? What's going on? Hello there, Winston. Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. You know it is. And I'm going to say it, Jay, with you once again. I'm going to wait for y'all to come in and start getting piled in and everything else. Now, I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of I'm trying something out here. Now, this says, I put a little incentive in there for everybody. We'll see if you gotta jump in if you're gonna get in on that action. So, but anyway, I almost costed myself. But what up, family? You better get your drink and snacks. We got about a couple hours maybe. See what's cooking. I got mine. All right. I'm going to give it a couple minutes. Winston, where's Machine? Where's everybody? Oh, he made it. Hello there, Machine. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you, bro. I know what you guys are looking at, the title of the video. I know you guys are looking at the title of the video because I was kind of looking at it myself, but let me go ahead and look at it once again because I didn't think I wrote it correctly, but I might have. I think I did write it correctly. Let me see. Okay. This says, let me put it up in my face. Monetization shakeup and GPU wars. That's about what it is right now. The RX 9060 XT versus the RTX 5060. 8GB versions. 8GB versions. Not 16, not 24, not 32, not 4, not 1. 8GB. Hello there, Dobry. Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome back. Or welcome back if you've been here before. So, I'm going to read you guys into the description. I'm writing in some of my articles for you guys, so that way you guys know where I'm coming from. In episode 46, we're diving in deep into the latest monetization updates, breaking down what's changing and how it impacts creators like me. Then we'll shift gears to AMD's RX 9060 XT and Nvidia's RTX 5060, analyzing specs, pricing, and performance expectations. Let's hope we can find all that information. Plus, we'll discuss Nvidia's decision to delay driver software until after Computex. That's a hot story right now. So be happy you guys are here on that one. What does it mean for the gamers and reviewers? You know what, guys? Let's get into it. Now that we got that broken down, like I told you, we're going to get into it. Let's get into it and see what we find. Okay, now we're on the action screen. I got everything set up at the top. If you guys don't want to see that, because I can take and turn around and change that really quick. I'll just change that so you guys don't have to see all that nonsense up there. Okay, we got the nonsense out of the way. There. Made it look a little cleaner. So, let's go and I know you guys are going to say, what the hell, man? Yesterday you didn't do the big cursor. Today you're not doing the big cursor. You're going to be like, what are you doing, Jay? Are you slacking on us today? No, I'm not slacking on you guys whatsoever. guess what? I'm not slacking at all, see? Thank you, Machine, for your $2 super chat. Much love there, brother. Much love. And make sure you give that love. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. I'm just going to jump into this. The AMD, well, first, guys, I'm going to go backwards a little bit. Okay, monetization. Really quick. That's what I said about being monetized. There comes a little caveat with it. I'm only going to throw a little caveat in here. One, if you're going to be monetized, and this is what I discovered, if you go for monetization and your videos are linked with B-roll videos to another creator, they have the right to copyright strike you. Community strikes, what they call it. And with 3 community strikes, they can wipe out your whole channel. YouTube has put other creators, your future in other creators' hands. Hey, MTBK, good to see you, brother. Thank you there, Machine. Thank you. But understand this. I had to delete some of my videos, and I got about 30 to go because, believe it or not, the ones that I'm deleting, I have backups. So I'm going to go through the videos. I'm going to take all that crap out, and then I'm going to take and repost them. So even if they get views, they don't get views, whatever. They'll be back there for you guys to, watch them again. As I'll make a folder that says YouTube's kicked out my videos, something like that, and then put them in that folder. So you guys can go back and see what they kicked out. So Winston, thank you, my brother. Thank you. Love back, man. Love back for sure. Okay, let's get into it, guys. We ain't wasting no time. We ain't wasting no time. We ain't wasting no time. AMD to launch the Radeon 9060 XT on May the 18th. May the 18th. Guys, listen. This is a total sweep of a caveat that's going on with Computex. And if you're wondering if I'm going to do Computex or not this time, I don't know, because there's kind of a problem with using live streaming Computex and using everybody's piggybacking off everybody's live stream. It's gonna suck, but I'm gonna have to be honest with you. I don't know, because I'm still looking into it, and I hope y'all help me with this. Piggybacking off of these main company sites, I hope they don't get me demonetized or kick my channel. I kind of got to play it safe. But if all else possible, it's on the, I guess Computex is on the 18th. We'll get into the deep cycle of that, and we'll let you know ahead of time what we're going to be doing, at least a couple days ahead of time. So, but we have 8 days to figure it out, and I'm sure we can figure it out in 6. So, all right, Machine, much kudos, bro. Thank you very much for that. Now let's just dive back into it. I think. No, we'll dive back into it. Okay, now we're diving back into it. And also, guys, too, don't forget right here, Patreon. If you want to become a Patreon member, I got 1 member over there so far. Machine's my member over there. But if anybody else wants to join in, it's $5 a month. If you want to become Patreon members. As soon as I get 50 members over there, I'm able to do more exclusive things, with the members over there. But that's if you want to. I'm not forcing nobody's hand. So let's get down to this. And don't forget, if you haven't become a member to the JJPC Builds family right here, our new monetized YouTube channel. Hit that membership button. You got 3 different prices, and they're all cheap enough to be handled per month. So I didn't become like a wet bag, you know, with some of them other reviewers putting like 20, 30, or 20, 40, and 60, or 50, 100, or 150. I didn't do that. I'm not going to beat all that. Whatever you guys send to help the channel, whatever you guys send, it helps the channel out. Okay, it's going to buy equipment for the channel. It does nothing to do with my personal life because I handle that on my own. So don't worry about that. That's handled on my own. So whatever you guys do to support the channel, it is appreciated. And I got a lot of supporters out there, it seems. I joined. Thank you, Winston. I appreciate it, brother. Okay. Original article, this says, AMD reportedly shares the RX 9060 XT and the 9070 GRE. We did a video on the 9070 GRE, but I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know. Because if Nvidia's complaining about sending the 5090D over to China, I would imagine that AMD's going to have the same problem sooner or later. So I don't know if they're going to get the 9070 GRE. Still up in the air. We will find that out. AMD is moving forward to release the 9060 XT, according to Chinese sources. Why can't it be American sources? Why is it always got to be Chinese sources? Why can't it be American sources? Why can't they put right here and, you know, start leaking stuff here before anybody else? Why it's got to be over there? Oh, because maybe they make the graphics cards. Who knows? Oh, Lordy. Okay, let's move on. I had to get through that drama moment. I really did. I had to get through that drama moment. Hey, everybody's sitting there saying I talk too slow and everything else. And when I put drama moment into the fashion, then everybody's going to lose their you know what I mean. I'm not good at doing extensive B-rolls yet. Well, we're working on it. So, AMD is now reportedly set launch the 9060 XT, the 18th. Computex mentions product release will be misstated and possibly referred to another product or AI news. I'm not reading from that, guys, because simple fact is, because that's what it's going to come down to. They say, oh, we're going to go ahead and do it over there and everything else, and then turn around like they did the last time. Remember, they were supposed to do the launch for the 9070 and XT version over there, what? At the other one? I can't remember the name. Now I forgot the other name. See what you guys do to me. But anyway, this is supposed to be the 9060 XT. It's supposed to be Navi 44 with 2048 streaming processors, which if you look at the RX 580 has what, 2304 streaming processors. And they're going to have 2 models, the 8 gigabyte and 16 gigabyte versions. We're talking about the 8 gigabyte today because the 8 and 16 is going to be the same damn model. Base model, same thing. Cores, going to be different. Maybe. Or maybe not. They might be the same cores and they just slapped, 16 gigabytes of VRAM to one, 8 gigabytes of VRAM to the other, push more power onto the 16 gigabyte to make the 8 gigabyte look bad. We know this routine. They do this all the time. You can't get around it. It's unbelievable. So going down the road here, let's just go to their charts and we're going to wrap everything around in one shot and we're going to have a powwow talking about it. Let's see. Let's go with the 9060 XT. It's got 2048 streaming processors. They put cores, streaming processors. This is streaming processors. So, it's got 2048. It's got 3.23 gigahertz max boost, 8 gigabytes of GDR6, 128-bit bus. Well, this one right here's got 192-bit bus. You guys see where I'm going with this? They say that the 8 gigabyte version is going to be $419 and the 16 gigabyte version is going to be $500 and some dollars. Am I right about that, machine? Let me know in the chat right here if I'm right or wrong about that. Because I'm sitting here thinking, because this is going to get good. Just stick along with me. This is going to get really good. See, I'm not worried about these two right here because we all know that the price is here. $549 and $599, that's just MSRP. But they said that the MSRP was supposed to be $419 and $500 and something. The 9060 XT 8 gigabyte was supposed to be $419. Thank you, Winston, becoming a gold member. Thank you very much there, brother. Welcome to the fam. So, and the other one, the 16 gigabytes, supposed to be over $500 and some dollars. Close to the price of the 9070. So, you know, something don't make sense. Something doesn't make sense. Why would they get a 16 gigabyte card to meet close to the 9070 at MSRP when they forgot this is two variants? They didn't put in right here the 8 gigabyte version. They didn't put the 8 gigabyte version right here. Because the variant of that, it doesn't see what I'm saying right here? If this is $549, if the 16 gigabyte version of 9060 XT is $549, it meets the same price as that. Oh, that's right. I'm thinking Nvidia. My bad. I was thinking AMD. Well, they're about the same, almost the same when it comes to the staboggle of pricing. But with it having X8 and the 16 gigabyte versions meeting close to this 16 gigabyte version, guys, this is 5.0 X16. This is 5.0 X8. Why the hell are they pricing these cards that high? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Why are they pricing these cards that high? Yeah, they might be placeholders, machine, but you never know. Okay, if it's placeholder, that doesn't mean a thing. They could jack up the price after, what, 2 days? They could take and levy the price and jack it up. Like they did with Nvidia. They had it at a placeholder price, brought it down, and then brought it right back up. So even if it's at placeholder price, this X16 card's going to be equal with this X16 card. And guess what? This has got more cores, streaming processors, less boost clock. Look at this. Less boost clock, same amount of RAM. This has got twice the amount of memory bus. It's got the same memory speed. The memory bandwidth is twice the amount of this. And the wattage is probably going to be around 180 watts. And this will be around 220. Yeah, well, that's what I tried to explain to you guys before. MSRP is only a placeholding situation for the AIB partners. Okay, they say now AMD and Nvidia set their prices at that price. The AIB partners are not supposed to go cheaper down that rabbit hole. They're supposed to go at that price and above. Okay, so that's how that works. Or if Nvidia or AMD put out Founders Edition cards, they don't go above their price. They go at MSRP when they sell their cards. That is like a placeholder for AMD and Nvidia and Intel. Not the AIB partners. That's a different story. See, they got the whole kudos. But when it comes to Founders Edition cards, you know, they got to keep at MSRP. That's how they sell. So the price is high because people are paying that price. Not necessarily true. Cards are starting to stack up for the 50 series in a lot of places. People are starting to wean off of the 50 series. Watch, they wean off the 50 series, and then guess what? Nvidia fixes all the software problems. Boom, all those cards are gone within a matter of days. They're all gone in a matter of days. Either the scalpers got them or something else. Right now, scalpers are kind of in a scramble. They don't know what to do at this point. They went and bought all those extra cards, and they're in a scramble to sell them. Because if they can't sell them, they're stuck with those cards. Because nobody's going to pay the price, especially when you can get a brand new price for half their price. Why is people going to buy from the scalper when they can buy it right from the store and get a 5-year warranty if they wanted to? Doesn't make sense. So, yeah, but you're right. People will pay the price. I mean, they will pay the price, but how much price will they pay just to get a graphics card? That's the question. It's 60% of the world population will never, ever, ever buy graphics cards above $600. Never. So you got 1080p in the 60% crowd that will never go above $600. You got 35% of the people, 35% that are the 1440p crowd, but they're not going to go above $1,000. And then you got what? The rest of the crowd that will go above the $1,000 to whatever they can get because they got the money to do it. It's just the way life works. They can have a 9070 for $800. I would not pay the price. I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't pay that price neither. For real. I will take a 5070 for $600 over a 9070. Yeah. Even if they made a 5070 with 18 gigabytes of RAM, VRAM, not system RAM, VRAM, and they put it for $650, bro. 18 gigabytes of VRAM, 5070 for $650. You don't think I wouldn't buy that? Hell yeah, I would buy that. That's 18 gigabytes of VRAM. Why would I got nothing to complain about with that. Oh, the driver situation. Oh, big deal. Driver situation you can always fix. Software can always be fixed. Hardware can't. If the hardware is already addressed and set, and the software is the problem, why is everybody pissed off? It's not the hardware the problem is, it's the software. And everybody's panicking, oh my God, my hardware don't work. Yeah, it does. It does work. Everybody's just in a panic over nothing. It's crazy. Hello, Mathis. Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. I still got my trusty 1063 gigabyte. I got my GT 730. I got my 1650 GTX 1650. I got me my R5 AMD R5 240 1 gigabyte of VRAM card for my last ditch effort. So yeah, look, I'm in the 60% crowd just like the rest of everybody else. So we're kind of in the long haul for all this. While everybody's sitting there pissing and whining over broken software, which can be fixed in the future, the hardware's just fine. And they don't realize it yet. But everybody's just crying about, 8 gigabytes of VRAM. It's crazy. Stop crying about the card. It's not the hardware you're worried about. It's the software. I keep telling everybody this. The software matters. The hardware matters just as much as the software does. It's a 50-50 kind of deal. So while everybody's sitting there playing games with their hardware thinking, oh, we can't do nothing with our hardware because it black screens and everything else. Yeah. Well, let's see. Why does it black screen? Well, maybe because I did this wrong, I did this wrong, and I did this wrong. Oh, I did that wrong too. Oh my God. I didn't realize how many things I've done wrong. I've heard this for many of years. Many of years I've heard this. All right, guys. Well, let's do this. Let's just dig over into... I'm kind of contemplating where we would dig over to. Okay. Now we talked about enough of AMD, and now it's time to go and give Nvidia a lambasting. Even though that they got their hardware or their software went really bad on this generation, the 40 series software and below is just fine. And people can resort back to the December 2024 software. Will fix the problem for 40 series, 30 series, or whatever series. So, I agree. Also, the problem probably also lays in the devs. Yep, that's one problem. That's one of many. And that just doesn't optimize their games because they don't need to. Well, yeah, because... Why do you think Nvidia was bending over backwards in the Nvidia app trying to do an override system for the games? They're doing an override for the games because the game developers are not keeping up with the times. They want to overpower the game and leave you with nothing to tune. That's basically how it's working. Yeah, give it some time to upgrade. It must feel good. MTBK, I'm going to tell you something. I can run on my system for the next 5 years and not have a problem. I can run on the same driver set for the next 5 years and I wouldn't have a problem. It's basically how you tune your system. I've always told everybody, if you don't, I'm going to state this. If you don't balance your CPU with your system RAM, with your GPU, with your M.2 SSD or whatever hard drive you got, all around with your motherboard, and make it run correctly, you're going to run into this issue. Some people, what they're sitting there doing is they're taking their HDMI port, mixing it with their display port using 2 monitors, but they're using direct display monitors instead of using a HDMI adapter, which would work a lot better and cut out a lot of that flickering. As you can see, mine doesn't flicker. I got the newest driver software from Nvidia, not a problem. Ever since they launched it, a couple days ago? I don't get it. I must be the only one in this world that doesn't have a problem with his PC. It's common sense. It's common sense how to set your stuff up. It's not hard. It only takes a couple hours to get yourself in the right groove, and then after that, you just tweak here, tweak there, tweak here, and then you make it run consistent, 50-50. If your CPU is not running 50% and your GPU is not running 50%, then basically your GPU, if it's not hitting 100% and your CPU is not hitting between 30 and 50%, and they're not running in harmony, then you got more than one problem. You either have a motherboard problem, or you have a RAM problem, or you have a M.2 problem because you didn't match the speeds. That's the thing. Nobody matches the speeds. They don't match the speed with one, match the speed with another, because it layers. That's how you get your balance between the two. And people don't do that. My M.2s are balanced with the speed of my RAM. And the speed of my RAM is built based upon the speed of my CPU, which my CPU is based upon the speed of my GPU. And overall, my motherboard is tuned to match all these speeds in synchronization. So basically, I get the best bang for a buck. I got the best bang for $1,200 out of a full PC, including monitors, including extra hard drives, and everything else back a couple years ago. So, I'm probably going to wait a little while for the GPU prices to drop a little. Well, you're in good luck. When I did graphics card nightmares yesterday, it looks like the prices came down like maybe 0.5% to about 1% on some of the graphics cards. So you might be in luck. They can't sustain these prices forever. People are going to stop buying. People are going to stop buying. They're not going to be able to hold these graphics cards at their prices they want. You got to remember, they sit in a storage. They're paying money on the storage, the employees, their lunch breaks, them using the potty, their gas, their miles per hour, the whole 900 yards. So, and they know this. And it's not sustainable when they're losing money. If they're not selling something, they're losing money. And when they lose money, they'll take the price cut. And guess what? You'll get a better price on your GPUs. It's a no-brainer. It is a no-brainer. That's why I told everybody, from the last card that's been launched, go 6 months from there, from the last card that's been launched. Go 6 months. In that 6 months' time, when those cards have been sitting for 3-4 months, guess what they're going to want to do? They're going to practically want to give you that card because the employee cost and everything else is going to kill them. It's going to eat them alive. They're going to go out of business just sitting on product. And they can't do that. So they're going to lower the prices sooner or later. So just be patient. It's going to happen. And when they lower their prices, I guarantee Nvidia is going to step in and say, guess what? We get a fix for everything. I'm just waiting for that. I am just waiting for that. Seriously. All right, let's get back to the 5060, guys. Let's see. The 5060's got 3,840 cores. It's got 120 TMUs, 48 ROPs. It's got 8 gigabytes of VRAM, GDR7, 128-bit bus. So it's about equal to, at this point, not equal, at this point, to the 9060 XT 8 gigabytes. The 9060 XT 8 gigabytes is not equal. Right here. Now let's move down the road here and show you why. Coming down here, it's going to be released on May the 19th. 2025. And when we get done going through this about the 5060, and then when we get to the conclusion, I'll be making sure I explain to you what's going on about the 5060. It's unreleased. The launch price, $300. MSRP is at $300. And when AMD is going to sell their 9060 XT 8 gigabytes at $419. Oh, yeah. I know you guys are seeing the writing on the wall right now. There's a lot of writing on the wall. A lot of reviewers are saying, oh, there's a lot of... When we get to the conclusion, I'll tell you the rest. But looking at the 5060, runs about almost equal with the 6700 XT and the 3060 Ti. And that's got 12 gigabytes. That's got 8. I forgot how much the 6700 XT has, guys. You have to forgive me for that. I can't remember every graphics card in the world and how their specs. But I try, though. I damn sure try. So, looking at all the specs here, looking at it only has L2, 32 megs of L2. It's got 120 tensor cores, which isn't bad. RT cores are at 30. It's only a suggested 300 watts, 145 watt TDP, not too bad. Dual slot card. Bandwidth is at 448 gigabits per second. Not bad. Because the 4070 is at 504 gigabits per second. And this is at, what did they say? Let me remember. Don't tell me. I know I'll remember this. Yep. Memory clock's at 28 gigabits effective at 1750 megahertz. So once you hit that 1750 megahertz mark on an overclock, you'll get your full 28. It's not hard to hit it. I hit mine and I get a full 21. This is 28. Now you see the secret. But anyway, guys, $300 card. That looks like a Founders Edition, so I can't speculate on anything, and we won't know until the 19th. But I can tell you what I was thinking about it. Now I'm really going to tell you what I'm going to think about it. 8 gigabytes of VRAM shoved into a compact card like this with a lot more cores than the 9060 XT. 28 gigabits per second on the memory. I think what it is what they're doing, and I don't know why other reviewers do this, is they're shoving it with the 16 gigabyte card, the 8 gigabyte, and they're trying to run them both side by side. You can't do that. There's limitations on a card. You run it side by side with an 8 gigabyte card, or get a stack of 8 gigabyte cards and see which one's the best of the best. Don't run it next to the 16 gigabyte card. That's stupid. I'm sorry, no matter what you guys tell me and everything else, the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life was somebody taking an 8 gigabyte card and running it against a 24 gigabyte card for the VRAM. Guys, it's not brain surgery. You take a stack of 8 gigabyte cards, run them on the same game, see what their performance is. Stack them up against each other, see what they do. Don't stack them up against cards that they can't run against. Makes no sense. It's stupid. Sorry. It's just plain stupid. Its predecessor, the RTX 4060, didn't have a Founders Edition, only an AIB partner cards. Yeah, but the point is that they have a mountain of 8 gigabyte cards. And what would be more interesting to the people that can't afford a lot of graphics cards, that, you know, they're like pinching the penny right now, and they get a low profile 8 gigabyte card. that they can manage, that put up against the rest of them to see what they do against some of them newer games. That would make a lot more sense to do that than to stack one 8 GB card against cards that are got 16 to 24 gigabytes of VRAM. That's basically just saying, you know what, that's basically not their taste. But what's my taste is anything from 8 GB or even 4 GB. On some of the games I play only requires 4 GB of VRAM. And yeah, I run 1080p. So what? 62.5% of this world, in the world here today, run 1080p. It's crazy. So an 8 GB card is not going to bother me because I would only use between 4 and 6 gigabytes all day long playing games. And there's a lot of people out there that do the same thing. So it's no love lost. Especially if they're going to make this $50, $60, $300. The RX 6600 from AMD is $230. $70 difference. 3 times the amount of performance. And on top of that, all new generation software. And that card is how old? Come on. I mean, really? It's obvious. I mean, it's totally obvious. But people get it wrong. When they sit there and they say to me, "Jay, I can't afford a card. What am I going to do? How am I going to get by?" I'm going to say, well, what kind of games do you like to play? That's where I first start. And then I look at all the specs of the games. You know, their compatibility specs of what it requires for the minimal to the max. And then you can base it up on that. Or depending on if they want to run more than one game. Then you take how many games they would like to run, you average it all out to see what the lowest and the highest of compatibility is. And you can do that with all the games and put them into an average. So it gives you an average of what kind of GPU you need. You can average 50 to 100 games and see what kind of GPU you're going to use. But nobody in this right mind, sorry guys, nobody in their right mind is going to use 100 games. Unless it's one of my subscribers, and I'm not going to say his name yet. Okay. Sorry, I'm just picking on you, bro. But you know, you take the total amount of games you play, you take the specs, you average it out amongst the whole spectrum. That will give you your answer for your GPU. That will give you your answer. If you play one game and it only requires 4 to 6 gigabytes of VRAM, 5060 is perfect. Simple. I mean, most people, you know, you got about maybe 25-30% that play Facebook. And that's all they do is play Facebook. But I'm always hearing them, "Oh, I want a big card. I want a big graphics card." Like, how big you want to go for 2 gigabytes of VRAM usage? It's not hard, guys. It's not hard to balance out your stuff. All the games I play, I balanced it out into an average between 6.5 to about 7.8 FPS, or 7.8 VRAM, gigabytes of VRAM, 7.8. So I've already averaged all mine out, so I know exactly how much I'm going to use and how much latency it has. It has between 12 and 17% latency, which that's a lot lower than some of the people have theirs. But, you know, people can't figure it out, how to lower the latency. And then I tell everybody like this, well, do yourself the smart thing. Get a 1080p monitor and then take and upscale your resolution other than, you know, buying an expensive monitor, and it downscales your FPS. Why? You want to lower latency. This is how I lowered latency. I got a 1080p monitor with 60 hertz. I use Nvidia 4070. I use DSR, dynamic screen resolution, or dynamic scaling resolution. So that basically I can scale from 1080p to 1440p to 4K and not kill my GPU or my CPU. So, what do you think GTA 6 will require in terms of GPU for higher quality 1440p? Well, if you take and turn around, you take GTA 5. If you take GTA 5 and take the specs of GTA 5 and you add about 15 to 20% onto that, that will give you an average of what it's going to look like. I don't know. I haven't played GTA 5, so I couldn't give you a concrete answer on that, but take about 15, 20% added onto it for the next game, or give it 10%, 12%, you know, from the last oldest to the next, going up in generations. Graphics cards, when you buy graphics cards, they're only going in between 12 and 16%. So I know these game developers are not going any higher than that. So, yeah. Just goes up. It's not hard to balance it out. It really isn't. Because if you look at it, let's say if you're running like a graphics card like mine, the 4070, you'll get maybe 3 to 7% off of the new GTA game. Depends on the upscaling that the game developers did for the game to make it run more efficient and a lot faster with better textures and everything else. It all depends on the game developers. So if they're all sticking within the consistency of the realm of what they've been doing for the last 20 to 30 years, then yeah, they're still going to be in between 10 and 14%. So, but if you got like a 1030, I think that's what you said, like a 1030, or no, a 1060, my bad, 3 gigabytes, that new game's going to put a lot more stress on that 1060. You might need to go up like minimal, like a 1080 Ti. Minimal. It's just my opinion, you know. If you're going to go to a 1080 Ti, you might as well go to a 3060 or a 3070. And if you go to a 3070, you might as well go to what? A 4060 Ti. You see how it jumps around? It jumps one after another, after another, after another. You take your certain amount of price that you want to use. You have your price point. You set your budget. You got your budget set. And then you look and you say, okay, well, I got 10 series card. Let me look at the 1080 Ti. Oh my God, I still got a lot more in my budget to go. Let's say I go up to a 2060 Ti. I still got a lot more in my budget to go. Oh, let me go up to a 3060 Ti. Well, hell, I still got a lot still more in my budget. I want to get my budget all maxed out. I want to get my computer all maxed out with my maxed out budget. So you go and put yourself to a 4060 Ti. 16 gigabyte. And you're like, I still got a little bit more, but I'll buy me dinner. So there you go. Some people will do that. Some of those new games require mass shaders at stock. I agree with that, man. I agree. So if modifying the games is beyond the skill of the player, a GTX 1080 Ti is not the best option. No. But I'm giving you a price jump in comparison. This was just an example, bro. It has nothing to do with them getting a 1080 Ti. And which it's not advisable at this point because Nvidia is getting ready to kill the 10 series. Well, they already killed the 10 series, the 16 series, and the 20 series, and maybe the 30 series on software. They're going to discontinue it all, from what I'm hearing. So if they discontinue all that, all you got left is the 40 series and the 50. They can't hold on to this legacy of these graphics cards forever. They're a business. So if you're going to make a jump, I would make it within this year, because next year they're going to kill everything off. So might as well get a 9070 XT at this point. Oh well, I was thinking of that anyway. With the set, nice right there. 7700X, not bad. I would think about a 9700X. Just to be honest with you, I would think about a 9700X versus the 7700X. And not thinking of upgrading again for many years again. Yeah, well, do it one time, save yourself another 5 to 10 years. And just have fun with it. That's the whole idea. Just have fun with it. So, if you're thinking about not upgrading for many of years, I would go up to a 9700X. And I would at least get a motherboard that was, and believe it or not, they got some B850 motherboards that are pretty decent, that are not bad in the price. So if you're thinking about going to an X670, I would go to a B850, truthfully. I think that the 1440 on GTA Max settings, 5070 should work fine with DLSS and frame generation. But most likely a high level of RT might be difficult with 12 gigabytes of VRAM. Like I said, don't buy any 50 series right now. Wait for the new launch of the 5070 Super. 18 gigabyte VRAM. Or the 5080 Super. 24 gigabyte VRAM. If you're going to buy a card, I would seriously wait and see what they got coming out next. Because if you don't, then you're going to shoot yourself in the foot. Because the 5070 is equal to the 4070 Super. Hands down. Might get a little bit more to the 4070 Super, getting close to the 4070 Ti. But, yeah, hands down. You can wait, Winston, for a few years until everything comes out. That's fine. But I'm saying within this year is going to be the year of make or break. Because 2026 is going to be the year that Nvidia is going to start launching their new CPUs. And everybody has a feeling x86 is going to go extinct. They have a feeling x86 is going to run itself out. This might be this year or next year, might be getting close to the end of the line of x86 processors. And what I mean by that is your AM5 processor. That's why I mean that. What I mean is, you know, the only one that's holding on to the legacy, from what I hear, is Intel. They're the only ones that are going to be holding on to the x86 legacy. AMD's getting ready to make that move for CPUs. Nvidia's getting ready to make that move for CPUs. Intel's going to be the only one left that's going to be making x86 CPUs. That's the writing on the wall. I can't make this up. It is what it is. $5070 Super will be very expensive for a long time. My guess it will be no less than $900. Bro, machine. Remember, the 4070 launched at $600. The 4070 Super launched at $600. The 5070 launched at $550. The 5070 Super is going to launch at $650. I might be wrong, and hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I might be right on this one. Especially when the 7900 XT, they're running it for $700. And that's got 20 gigabytes of VRAM. So, think about it. A 20 gigabyte VRAM card running around $700 compared to a 5070 Super that's only got 18 gigabyte of VRAM. It's only 2 gigabytes short. That's why I said $650. You really don't think they're going to take and push that card to $900? Not when you got the 7900 XT all day long, 20 gigabytes of VRAM. I'm not feeling it. Microprocessor MTBK says, microprocessor engineer Jim Keller would say it's not so much about x86 or not, but it's how much open source it is. Yeah, how much open source, how much rat's nest and everything else it is. Because over a period of years, it's always been a rat's nest on AMD. It's always been a rat's nest. And now it's Nvidia's turn to be a rat's nest. I think they're playing good cop and bad cop, truthfully. I think they're all playing good cop, bad cop, so they all make money all the way around. One looks bad, the other one looks good, the other one looks bad, the other one looks good. It's been going back and forth like this for how many years? Come on, guys. I've been doing this stuff 36 plus years. I've seen the ins and outs, the ups and the downs, the back and the front. I've seen it all. I've seen it all. You know, it's not like I can get away from it. I can't. I enjoy what I do so much, I can't get away from it. So, how much is a 5070 Ti right now? $600. Oh no, it's about $900. And they're going to make a they're not going to take and make a 16 gigabyte card for $900. Sweat bullets to go down to $700. So think about the price factor in between the two. So if they make a 5070 Super go up to $700 or $650 with 18 gigabytes of VRAM, more than a 5070 Ti, really? Think about it. They're not going to make it a $900 card, bro. No, they're going to make that an incentive card. They're going to make that an incentive card to have everybody buy it out. And they're going to make a ton of them, and everybody's just going to buy them out. And Nvidia is going to say, I told you so. Everybody's going to buy regardless. I told you so. And that's what they're going to say. They're just working the crowd up to that point. You don't see the writing on the wall like I do, I guess. But I do. So, Nvidia can say that MSRP for the 5070 Super is $100, but AIBs will sell it for $1,000. Yeah. But they won't, not this time. How can they sell it above a card that's already out there that's sitting at a certain amount of money? It makes no damn sense. They can take a card, bring down the price to another card's price, yeah, but they can't increase a price over another card's price. That's against their contracts with Nvidia. That goes against their contracts. And if they do it, then Nvidia must not care about their contracts. Because that's obviously what's happening right now. Is AIB partners are going wild because the scalpers are going wild. And half the scalpers, I bet you, work for these AIB partners. Who knows? I don't know. Somebody said that to me the other day. And I said, I know. I've been saying it the whole time. So, I mean, MSRP is definitely not going to be 900 USD. I agree with that, but the retail price will probably be around there. Probably. MTBK says 830 to 879 euro. That still comes around $900, bro. US money. I'm not calculating today. My brain's just like too much. It's been too much today. And don't forget, guys, I have another live stream I have to do at 5 p.m. tonight on my other channel. And if you don't know where it is, it's called JJPB Shorts. I opened that channel up for everybody that can't afford to chip in to the channel, and I do understand that, and I do respect that. A couple of my subscribers brought it up to me. It's like, what about the people that can't afford to chip into your channel? They do give you views. Yes, they do. So what I'm going to do, and I've already started it, and you can go on my main page of YouTube and look up the JJPB Shorts, and you can subscribe over there as well. You can turn your notification bell on so that way you know when I post the video over there. I got a little bit of a perk that I'm going to do on that channel as well. I'm going to be doing live streaming on Saturdays at 5 p.m. on that channel. I'll be doing videos Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on that channel over there as well. So I'm doing the same, not the same videos. I'm doing two different videos on two different channels. So what I'm doing over here in this channel, I'm not doing over there. And here's another perk that I added in. Since I have the members club over here and we're monetized on JJ's PC Builds, I left a little perk for my other channel, and I'm going to keep it completely free. I'm going to keep with the concept, and I told you guys I'm going to keep with the concept of keeping something free for all. I haven't given up on that. So I'll build that channel up too with videos and everything else. And also too, it's got a perk that I left on that channel as well. When I go live on a stream, and let's say I'm in the car and I'm going like Micro Center and stuff like that, I've now added to that channel as a perk for new members and current members and members that signed up over here to help support the channel, I got live streaming on the go with the free channel. So if you're a member over here, and you get that perk as well. So it's divided up amongst the two channels. There's more than one perk. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So even if you got the level 3 perk here, you got the free channel over there with that extra perk. So adding it all together, you got a hell of a perk. So I did that because I respect everybody on this channel. I left you a new avenue open, so that way if you want to go over there and watch videos as well, you can. You can still watch videos here as well. You know, if you don't want to pay anything to the channel, you just want to watch the videos and you don't want to have that burden of that, I understand. And if you want to tip once in a while, we got super thanks and all that too here. So I'm going to be working extra hard to get that second channel a new life, as well as keeping this one up and going at the same time. So I'm doing 2 channels at the same time. One that's going to help, support overall this main channel. It's going to be a sister channel to the main channel. So, but it's going to remain a free channel for the rest of YouTube's life, or the rest of mine, one or the other. So I left you guys a hell of a good perk, and I thought this through, and this was kind of a progress and work. It still is, but give me about, not too long, about a year, I'll have everything straight in tip-top shape and ready to go to the next milestone with this monetization. So that's my plan that I got going on, guys. Just to let you know. Huh. 5070 Super will be more expensive than a 5070 Ti. You think? Huh. That would be something to see that go on. 5070 Ti is around $1,000 USD where I live. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, $1,000. It's supposed to be $750, but you know, somebody's got to make $250 somewhere. Because you know the AIB partners sold to the retailers for $750. From what I'm hearing, that some retailers only paid like $560, $570 for each graphics card they were receiving. So they got to pay their employees, they got to pay electricity and everything else. I can understand. I can respect that. It's not their fault that the AIB partners got greedy and jacked up the prices to the retailers. Not the retailers' fault. You know, at this point, I just say it the way it is. It's the truth. It's the God honest truth. You can't get around the truth. Everybody in the world can sit there and try to piece themselves around the truth. But when it comes time of day for the truth and for you to understand what it is, guess what? It's too late. The boat's done already been passed and gone. So we will see. I'm not very hopeful after the start of this year with the launch of the 9000 and the 5000 series. 850 is the cheapest right now on the 5070 Ti. Bro, I understand your grief. I really do. I understand where you're coming from with all this. But there comes a time that these companies are going to have a grace period, a big 90-day grace period, and they can't stop making money in that 90 days. if you noticed. So they're going to have a big old grace period. And guess what that means? That means they're going to come push come to shove. They're going to want to lower their prices. They're already starting to do it by 0.5% to 1% a day. I mean, hell, if I really wanted to look at this, you know, yeah, we'll go there. If I really wanted to look at this, well, I was looking for it, but I guess it didn't come. Okay, come on. That's weird. So we'll go plan B. Okay. So if I were to go to, let's say, Micro Center. Oh, that's right. You guys are supposed to be there. There. Now you guys can be there. Even if you go to the Micro Center, I mean, this laptop they got right here is $2,000. What has it got? It's got an Ultra 9 275HX. It's got a 5070 Ti, 32 gigabytes of DDR5 5600, 2 terabyte SSD, and Windows 11 for $2,000. That is crap. That's crap. For $2,000. That makes me feel like I'm back at 1985, 1984. Trust me, guys, when I'm telling you, it's not what you'd think. Turn that off. Let's see. Let's just do get the experience and see what the, man, they don't make this stuff easy, man. Let's see. Graphics cards. Okay. Change this to 96. There. That's better. Let's see. 5090. $3,230. 5080. 16 gigabyte. $1,600. 5070. $610. 12 gigabytes of VRAM. See. TI, $1,000. But look at this. Down here at the bottom. Save an extra $150 member pricing. So that means you can get $150 off from that right there. From that $1,000 cart. It's a 5070 Ti, 16 gigabytes. So you take your $1,000. You minus your $150. Gives you your $850. It's $100 more than MSRP. Okay. $100 more than MSRP. So you get a 5070 Ti here for $824. That's cheaper than this. You see what I'm saying now? This is cheaper than this. Let's keep moving down. That's $800. Now, if you look at it this way, no, that's $1,000. This is $900. So that's still cheaper. Okay. Not good. $3,000 still. Not good. So 5060 Ti, $490. 5070, $604. It's $605. $5 less than the other one. So, $530, $980. What do I do? What do I do? What do I get? What can I get? I'm not getting this one here for sure. Not here. No. Why are you going to spend $325 when you can take and strap another, what, $250 to it and get yourself a better card that does twice the amount of performance? See, again, things that don't make sense. Things that don't make sense. 719 don't make sense. Don't make sense. $40 cheaper, 5070 don't make sense. Let's see. I'm going to check newly released laptop soon. All right, bro. Jay, where's your Circle K puller? It's right here, bro. It's kind of empty. It's kind of empty, man. Puller Pop's empty. That's all I got left right now. I haven't been to the store, bro. Have not been to the store. So it is $825, $24 plus $100 in gas. So it's $925, $24 to the nearest store. Yeah, kinda. I'm sure not going to go to Micro Center going for a $300 or $230 card. Come on, guys. It is just way too obvious, don't you think? If I'm going to go like the big kahuna, I'm going to make sure I'm going to get me a card. One that's going to last me for 5 to 10 years solid. Now I feel like the Beach Boys, the big kahuna. Get me one of those 5090s, them big kahunas right there. Isn't them bigger than my surfboard? Uh-huh. Yep. When you get a GPU the size of a surfboard, I'm quitting PCs. I really would. That's got to be the most outrageous thing I've ever seen if a graphics card's that big. You got a cooler that's big as a surfboard, but you got the GPU die that's no bigger than this. That's what it's coming to, guys. They're gonna have a GPU with 20 fans on it, just to keep it cool, and it's got GPU die no bigger than this. You gotta be you gotta be kidding me. Oh my god. I'm just saying. So, what we're doing is we're looking through a spread of 96 GPUs all at one time. 96. Somewhere down this 96 GPUs, you've got to have something better. They got to. They have to. Look at that. $100 for a 1030. $100. GT 730s, $80. I paid $100 for each one of mine, and I got 2 of these cards, and they're fine. Those are just little backups, so I'm fine with that. Let's see. T400 single fan. That's one of those little chunky ones. I was like, no. Have a nice day with that one. $200 for a 3050. $200 for a 3050. And that's only got, what, 6 gigabytes of VRAM for $200? And everybody's going to be crying about paying how much? No. Oh, look at this. GT 710. It's got 2 gigabytes of DDR3 PCIe 2.0. $55. That's a deal. That's a steal. Damn. I gotta go get me one now. Brand new in the box. Comes with the warranty. Why not? Some people in the chat don't know who the Beach Boys are. Yeah, I know. It goes with my gray, bro. It goes with the gray, man. That shows that I'm old. And I can admit to being old. I can admit to it. 4060, $340. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. 4060, $330. It's unbelievable. All right, guys, we're at the bottom of the line of that one. Okay, bottom of the line. So, looking through all Micro Center's graphics cards, not all of them, but about 80% of it. Looking through all their graphics cards, right now the prices are sitting kind of level. So, if the prices are sitting kind of level, they were kind of dropping slowly, but now they're sitting kind of flatlined right now. So maybe in about a week or two, they'll start dropping again, hopefully. But I'll tell you what, that's a lot of cheese, man. That is a lot of cheese. Especially with the 5060. Guys, if you play older games that only require the minimum of 4 gigabytes of VRAM, or the maximum of 4 gigabytes of VRAM, or 6 gigabytes of VRAM, and you don't plan on playing any of the, the rich kind of guys' AAA games, being able to spend $60 to $100 per game, you just like the freebies and just like playing on the little freebies, I understand. So you don't need a hellacious graphics card for that. So you just need something up to date to this generation is what you need. So you're thinking to yourself, oh, maybe the 8 gigabyte will be real good. Maybe I can go the 8 gigabyte. Maybe that'll be real good. But if you're going to pay that kind of money, if that 5060 doesn't have 16 gigabytes of VRAM, to be honest with you, being at almost the same equivalent price of the 9070, guys, I'm going to say it, best to go with the 9070. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. Like I said, it goes by the hardware, not the company name, the hardware. If the price on the hardware is good and cheapest you can get it and best quality you can get, I'm all for it. But if it's not and it's bad and it stinks and you can get something better, then you know what the problem is. So either way you look at it and you dice it up all day long, there's got to be one card out there that's going to catch your eye that's really going to be price affordable to your budget. To your budget. Not to somebody else's budget, your budget. Not my budget, your budget. So, hey, a 3050 has a use purpose. Yeah, I know, to hold up the 5090. We know. We know it holds up the Pampers to the 5090. Because the 5090 doesn't have PhysX 32-bit, so it's got to hold up the Pampers. We know. But also, too, they got an open source fix, too, for the 32-bit PhysX. An open source fix. Don't know if it works or not. Can't tell you because I don't have that problem with the PhysX 32-bit, but I suggest you do your homework before you decide to download that little bit to upgrade your 50 series graphics card and make it back to normal like the 40 series. It's up to you, though. It's a chance you take. And if it's something that's going to save you power and stress off of your motherboard and it works, I would go for it. Because that way you can say to yourself, at least I saved my computer from plugging in an extra graphics card. Oh my God. If you don't have a computer that has a GPU power cord, bro, I don't have a computer that has a power cord that has a head on like this and about yay long and then plugs into 220 volts. No, I don't have a card like that, bro. No, sirree. Don't even have a card like that. That's beyond me. That's industrial type. That's basically what the hell 50 series is about. Industrial type. So what meaning does it have? 5090 has no meaning. 5080 has no meaning. Why? Oh, because it doesn't have PhysX 32-bit, or it doesn't have PhysX 64-bit even enabled, which the developers are not going to enable until, what, end of 2026? So what are you going to do then? Now you're going to go look for that open source program for the PhysX 32-bit and then add it into for the graphics card. And then guess what? Now you got a graphics card that's whole again. That you got a better incentive now. So what's going to choke your system is not having that PhysX, is because now the PhysX has to come off of your CPU. So now you put a new load onto your CPU from your GPU. Your GPU was handling the PhysX just fine. But the problem is now you're choking out your CPU. Now you're getting black screening. Now you're getting a lot of things. And the simple fix was software. As all Nvidia had to do was put the PhysX 32-bit back on for the 50 series and then come up with a new plan for the 60 series. They didn't do that. They'd rather choke out the graphics card now, so you'll be so pissed off that you'll never buy from them again. Or they could have did the right thing and they could have just fixed the PhysX 32-bit, put out a new software update, fixed those cards, and then been done. And those cards would have been a smoker after that. You would have never seen any problem. And then, yeah, you would never see anything catching up to the 50 series. But no, you do, because the 50 series has a little part of the PhysX 32-bit built into the driver system as well. So it kind of plays into some of your FPS as well. And it kind of plays in a little bit to your shaders and everything else, and just little bits here and there. And everybody can tell me I'm a liar, and I'll tell you, just believe what you want to believe. I believe in what I know, not what I see. What I know, and I've learned. So You want to keep your 50 series card running good? You can do it. You first find out where the problem is with the software. We already know G-Sync's the problem, FreeSync's the problem. We already know that. We already know that certain resolutions shouldn't be used. I would have stayed 1440p or 1080p. 1080p seems to be your lowest amount of problems. So you retransfer everything around and do 1080p and then just do an upscaler for resolution and be done. Be done. I kind of sound like I'm a broken record. I really do. I kind of sound like I'm a broken record right now. I've been saying this over and over and over again for many of months. And everybody just says, RMA the hardware, get new hardware. And then when that happens, what's going to happen then? You're going to RMA that and send it back and get new hardware again? Makes no sense. Fix the problem that's at hand. Why are you going to take a practically brand new card, return it, and then have them send you a refurbished, and then you return it and they send you another broken refurbished? Why are you going to keep doing that to yourself? Makes no sense. No common sense. Sorry guys, I get dry throat. I have to do this. Not much of a choice. So, now that we learned a lot about what's going on with the graphics card scene, we know when Computex is coming up. Now comes back to the fashion of reviewers complaining about the 5060 not having no drivers, not having them being able to do any testing until after the 19th, when the 5060 drops into stores. That's when the driver release will happen for Nvidia's 5060. Reviewers are pissed because they didn't get a card. Well, god damn it, guys. I'm going to tell you like this. And if there is a reviewer that's in here that's listening that can run back to the other ones. You guys cried about the 5060 Ti 8 gigabytes and said it was crap. Why are you begging for another card that you think it's going to be crap? Why are you begging on the internet? Why are you trying to make a fool of yourself? And begging for a card that you keep calling crap? Why do you keep making a fool of yourselves? It does not make sense. Stop it. Seriously, stop it. Be a grown-up and stop being a child. Just because they didn't give you your cookie does not mean you can't get one. God. So, yeah, not going to use a 4090 to support the 5090. Yeah, I seen that one too with 32-bit PhysX. Chances are low. They will use a chip area. Yeah, but bro, I'm gonna state it like this. Number one, they're not using chip area. Firmware for your PhysX is under firmware. Just like if you buy your motherboard on the BIOS for your motherboard is FBIOS. Firmware BIOS. It's still the same 128-bit processor. But they want 256-bit or something like that. It's twice the amount of the original, but they only did firmware to modify the original. They've never made too many originals at full Monty. So, When it comes to your GPU, it's pretty much firmware on the VBIOS that manipulates this to happen. So, it's just firmware. If it's just firmware, then Nvidia was complaining, as they did with some DirectX 10 games, bad stuff. Bro, it's because it takes so long to create the firmware. It takes longer to create the firmware than it actually does to build the GPU. Truth. It actually takes them longer to fix and complete the firmware before how long it takes to make a GPU. And I mean, and that's true. Software takes twice as long. So, but it's cheaper. It's cheaper in some sense, because that way they don't have to worry about a continuing hardware problem. And they can fix it with software. So, sooner or later, Nvidia is going to become a company of software. They're going to end up stop selling GPUs. Because people keep complaining about their GPUs, they're just going to say the hell with it. We're just going to become a software company. Or we're going to become a software and CPU company. You know, I mean, it's not hard. It's not hard, guys. It's kind of obvious why a company would sell out all their 40 series before they do their 30 series. You don't see them pushing out the door of the 30 series now, do you? You don't see them discontinuing the 30 series. Makes no sense. They took the 30 series and kept that. They skipped that and they went to the 40 series, discontinued the 40 series, so the only active ones you got are 20, 30, and 50. Only active generations, 20, 30, and 50. Makes no sense. Really don't make no sense at all. So, building a GPU takes 3 months plus development time. Yeah, it does. But it takes longer to build the software. It takes a year or two to get through so many steps in the software before they come up with the final version. It takes them at least a couple years. But if they rush it out like they've been doing and try to get it within the 90-day window, this is the reason why the drivers went to crap in the first place. But maybe some people would understand that, you know, sooner or later. They got to do it. If developers don't jump on board with the new idea of the new software with Nvidia, Nvidia's left with the obvious and they're stuck with the problem. When people play the game, guess what? They get black screened. What can you do? There's nothing you can do because it's an Nvidia to developer problem. But that's another battle for another video. I'm just telling you what's on my mind. Okay. What's been on my mind all day was thinking about, and I ran it over my mind many a times, how they can sell a graphics card that's only has the design of equal to the last generation, put more power to it and strap it and make everybody believe it's the best card in the world. I don't know how they could do that with any kind of facial expression. I don't see how they can do that. I really don't. That's exactly what they did to the 9070 XT. They just strapped it, added more juice to it. Because if you look at the memory size, the memory speed doesn't match. There's nothing on that card that really matches with one another. You know, it does match with it. I can tell you what matches with it. Don't forget to become a member of the JJ's PC Builds family. That would help. But really, what would match it is the one they discontinued. What's the 7900 GRE? Why do I always have that feeling that they took and they converted that PCB for the 7900 GRE, changed the chip, put the chip on it, and called it a day? So it's getting the same speed as the GRE speed. How long do you think that's going to last? And I want you guys to give me the answer to that. How long do you think that card's going to last running at 7900 GRE speeds, but boosted up with power? They added more power to it to make it run faster. How long do you really think that's going to last? Be honest with me. How long do you think that card's going to last? Do you think it's going to last 2 to 4 to 6 years? They'll be lucky to get at least 4 years out of that card. At least, well, I would say about at least 4 years. No, the most 4 years. My bad, the most. But I don't think they're going to get much more than that. So, that's what I want you guys to keep in mind. When you go and buy graphics cards, do your homework, know who you're buying from and where you're buying it from. Know what kind of warranty you get, because if that card's only going to be like a 3-year card that's only going to last 3 years, or they're only going to have it 2 years on the market, and then after that they're going to discontinue it and go to something else, that's when you got to really think, did I make the right move? And then when you go to sell the card, then you're only getting half the price you paid for it. So use half the card, you get half the price back because you used a certain amount, and you get, what do you get in return, really? Nothing. The scalpers already closed out the market, guys. Like, for any one of us to get on that market right now, to sell anything, it's not going to be competitive. You would have to sell it for $1 damn for it to be competitive. Especially when you got people hungry for graphics cards. I mean, hungry. Just, it never ends. It really don't. It's just amazing to me how far people go to do what they do. And all they needed was a graphics card that keeps up with their games. That's the point. You don't need something that can take and start up the space shuttle. You need something that plays the games. It's crazy. To me, it's crazy. To you guys, it might not be so crazy, but to me, it's really crazy. I mean, you might as well give, take and just turn around and just like, my graphics card only does so much. I don't care if mine does, well, I care, but as long as mine's doing over 60 FPS, I can care about less. If it looks good on my monitor with the textures, I can care less of everything else. If it's keeping up to date with everything that's on the screen, nothing else matters. So either way you look at it, it doesn't matter. Because you got the best of the best when it comes to graphics cards already. You have to give yourself enough time to go through it, to understand how it works, before you decide to give it up. But if you're on a 10 series, I can understand that. If you're on a 20 series, I can understand that. If you're right around the 30 series, make it work. You can go from 3060 to 3090 and beyond. They will work. They will work. So I want you guys to keep that in mind, all right? Just keep that in mind. You really think Nvidia will stop making GPUs if people complain about them? Yes. Yes. They're making enough in the AI market for machine learning to run those big GPU processors. They don't need the gamers. They don't need the gamers. They're making $20 billion on one of those sheets. They don't need the gamers. They got enough profile. Any major company will buy from them. So they really don't have no need for the gamers. This is just another eyesore to them. And that's why they're considering it just another eyesore. So yeah, is what it is. As long as I can make money, why not? Comes to the point until you can't make money no more, then what then? I think it doesn't have any serious consequences. You're right. It doesn't have any serious consequences. See, you have to understand something. Nvidia is a $1 trillion company. Graphics cards is nothing but low-hanging fruit. So what makes you think they're really going to care? Really? When they got $3 trillion in their pocket right now, they can care less about anything else. Simple. There is no consequence. Because if they build a business here, there's no consequence to the rest of their businesses. Once they start producing here, that's how they're going to get around the loophole of the tariffs. So once they start building here, Trump can't really put a tariff on the other countries that's building for Nvidia, is because they still got a 10% baseline tariff. And that's it. Companies that sided with the United States, followed with the plan, will be the ones that share in the wealth when it comes to, everything. So, consequences, I don't think they have a care in the world about them. I really don't. I think they're above and beyond the law, truthfully. I don't think they care. Number one, if these companies really cared, then they would take and start getting rid of all those backstabbing, freeloading, influencer reviewers and throw them back to the back of the bus, and then went around the inner boob, start shopping on YouTube for all new style content creators. Get some fresh minds in there. That's what they should have did, was got some fresh minds in there. Creators that only have less than 1,000 subscribers, that these companies can latch on to, encourage them, build them, and mold them, those companies would be going hog wild right now with all these new reviewers. Everybody would be, because there's fresh blood in the market. That's the problem. There is no fresh blood because you got the old guard that sits there, has his hand right on the door, and every time, you know, these companies say, well, let me send it to this guy here. They're like, nope, slams the door. These big reviewers are slamming the door on us small content creators, and they just don't realize it, that they're trying to keep themselves on our necks because they don't want us to get big and grow. So they get all their little subscribers to stand on our necks, so that way we would end up quitting. And when we don't end up quitting, they have no other choice but to give a little to get a little. So that's just my thought about that. I really wish that the big companies would recognize the small content creators, because if it's not for the small content creator, these big creators would have no backbone whatsoever. Now without these small content creator channels, they wouldn't have a backbone. They wouldn't have a backbone at all. So that is just my thought, guys. That is my thought. And I got some more thoughts for you, but what I'm going to tell you right here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take and keep this frame of mind here for the moment. I'm going to tell you why. I have a 5 p.m. stream today on JJ's PB Shorts, JJPB Shorts. Go over there, subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free for all. And then I got another 2-hour stream coming up at 5 p.m. on that channel, Pacific Standard Time, today. We can continue this discussion. We can continue the discussion. It's free over there, so that you don't have to pay for, texting in. Checks and balances, yes sir, there you go, checks and balances. And if there's not enough checks and balances, we all don't have enough checks and balances. Because if you don't have checks and balances with your PC is like this, miscombobulated. When your software is miscombobulated, guess what happens? You're like in a seesaw, on, off. My computer's on and off, seesaw. Till you got that nice firm balance, and then it's not on or off, it's on, period. So you don't strike the perfect balance. Don't ask your PC to do any more than it can do, because it won't. It's because you didn't balance out all your hardware, make your software run correctly, basically. As remember, when you start up your computer, it launches into the basic drivers of Windows first. Some people say it doesn't. Yeah, it does. Because it has to do a handshake to the actual drivers that you have for your hardware that you updated it to. So now that basic software has got to do a handshake to the next set of drivers, which kicks in for Windows. So if it's not playing nice, then you got a software issue, and that's pretty much right now where AMD is sitting, or not AMD, Nvidia is sitting as an example, because their software is kind of crappy right now. So being kind of crappy is not a bad crappy kind of thing. It could be by design they did this. Could be by design. Could be by design that they made this intentional, so that way people would stop buying the cards so they can catch up on the cards. And guess what? They release the cards again. Boom. All the cards are gone. They're probably doing that to save a little bit of time and money because they got to put everything on the shelf and it just sits there and collects dust. Who knows? You guys got any questions out there real quick? You got anything you want to ask? Please feel free to do it in the chat right here. Feel free to do it in the chat. But anyway, I am going to take and call it here for this live stream. And I want to thank everybody, and I mean everybody that chipped in today. And I do much appreciate you guys going back through it all. Machine, you are the man with the plan. Winston, thank you. Thank you, thank you, and thank you for becoming a gold member as always. And Machine, you as well. MTBK, and everybody here. Everybody here, definitely, you're awesome. Just want to let you guys know. And yeah, you guys are the best. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump out of here for now, and we'll see you back at 5. Stay safe. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Make sure you, if this is your first time here and you've been listening in, hit the subscribe button, like button. Don't forget about the notification bell. Until the next time, guys, in the next video, you know it is, and we'll see you on the next one.